Hi everyone, this is Alejandro Cremades, and today we're going to be talking about how to write a powerful investor update. So here's the thing, when you close your round of financing, at the end of the day, that is just a stepping stone. It's not a milestone. Now it's when the real work happens. So today we're going to be really covering how you're going to be keeping up to date those investors that essentially are betting on you. So with that in mind, let's get into it. So when it comes to really writing an investor update, what you want to make sure is that you understand the why, the what, and the when. So the why ultimately, really what it is why you're doing this. The reason why you're sending an investor update is because you want to keep all your investors up to date as to how you're doing. Because here's the thing, every 18 to 24 months, you're most likely going to require more money for your business. So the last thing that you want is to keep your investors on the dark, because essentially if they are being part of the journey, if you help them, if you have them really helping you on building the business, it's probably going to come from them. Hey, you need more money, I'm happy to give it to you, rather than all of a sudden they have not heard from you in like 18 months, and then all of a sudden you're knocking on the door and they're like, well, I don't know what's going on. Like, you're going to get them completely off guard. So with that being said, the why and the reason of you really keeping them up to speed is so that they really are ready to jump in whenever you need them. The when, literally you're going to be sending them at the end of the day, one update, maybe like either on a monthly basis or perhaps on a quarterly basis. It really depends on the stage of your business. So the earlier that you are in the life cycle of the business, the more updates and the more frequent those updates are going to be. And the later that you are in the stage, perhaps like growth stage or whatever that is, you're going to be probably sending those on a quarterly basis. Now, in terms of the what, really it's a summary of what the business is doing and what accomplishments you've done. But with that being said, we can actually go a little bit more in detail in a little bit. So in terms of what to send, you're going to be sending them a summary of the most recent period. And I think that you're going to want to do this in a way in which they can benchmark with how you performed in the past, so that they can see what progress has been done maybe this month compared to last month, or maybe this quarter compared to the last quarter in terms of your key metrics of the business. Because this is going to really give them an idea on what kind of progress has been done. So you really want to benchmark those so that they have an idea. Otherwise, it's just going to be metrics of this month. Okay, good numbers, but I have no idea as to how you're progressing. Another thing that you want to include is product launches. So for example, if you've launched recently a product, a feature or something like that, maybe you want to talk to them about, what exactly you launched. What was the performance? How did your customers receive it? Maybe like what you've learned from it. So this is something that perhaps you want to include. Another thing that you want to include as part of the investor update is the key hires that you've done. Here, maybe you want to send them a picture or a headshot of that new hire. You can also send a bio, of that new hire so that they get an idea. Then the title and what exactly that key hire is going to be doing for your business. I think that at the end of the day, this is going to help them understand that you're executing well, that you're good at really attracting talent, and this is something that they're going to want to see. The next thing that you want to talk about is milestones achieved. I mean, let's face it, at the end of the day, what is going to get you closer to the next financing cycle is going to be the milestones that you are achieving over the course of time. So for that reason, maybe one way that you want to go about this is at the end of every newsletter or every update, you send like the potential new milestones that you're looking at accomplishing for the next month or the next quarter. And when you get to that update on the next quarter, that's when you say either you accomplished that milestone or you didn't. Obviously, the more that you accomplish, the better you're going to look, and the better and the more happier that they're going to be. But I think that at the end of the day, I think that you got to be transparent and you got to be clear about the milestones that you're setting yourself up to accomplish, and then how you are doing, in the process of doing so or not in terms of accomplishing. You want to ask for help. Remember, Investors at an early stage especially, they like to invest so that they can be helpful, so that they can really jump in and help you with that, whatever is needed. So you need to ask your investors, you need to ask them for help. What can they help you with? Is it like maybe like introductions to more investors? Is it introductions to key hires? Is it introductions for distribution? You need to ask. And believe me, they're going to love that you ask, and they're going to be involved, because this is the type of investors that you want investing in your business. Then you want to talk about runway. How much cash is left in the bank? How many months do you have left to execute? And runway at the end of the day is how much do you have left in terms of, runway really alludes to airplanes, right? To being able to take off. So what this means, runway, is how much do you have left in order to take off, in order to have your business take off? And at the end of the day, it really comes down to how much cash do you have left in your bank account, and how many months does that give you to continue executing at your current speed. So that's something that you want to convey with investors, so that perhaps it's going to come from them, hey, let me give you some more money so that you can continue to extend your runway. Lastly, you want to share any press, any mentions, anything like exciting that maybe has happened in your industry. This is something that you want to share there, so that they have an idea of what everyone is saying, of what the market is doing, and then you kind of like bring them up to speed, and perhaps some articles that they can read. So with that being said, hopefully you enjoyed this video, and if you did so, make sure that you hit the like button, make sure that you subscribe, so that you don't miss out on all the videos that we're launching every week. And then also leave a comment and let me know what you thought of this video. Also, don't forget about our fundraising training, where we help from A to C every step of the way in the fundraising journey. There we have live Q&As, templates, agreements, a community of hundreds of founders all over the world helping each other, and I think that you would really like it. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching.